Hey everyone, how are you? Alright, just getting myself all set up over here. Oh, wait, there I am. Hey everyone. Okay, let's burn a little cedar, get things cleared, get some cards out here on the table, and take a look at the week. See what the week looks like. So I hope you guys had a really great weekend. I hope you're going to have an even better week. Let's see. All right, so, I want to first start with the thumbnail that I threw out there because here it is. Here's the card. Oops, wait a minute. If I can pick it up. All right, so look, here's a thumbnail. We have this guy. It looks like the Two of Pentacles, but he's sitting within the environment of the Two of Swords. So a decision is really needing to happen here, and we see that, he's really kind of tied as to what to do. So there is some confusion about, making a new decision on how you're going to make some money. Maybe you're thinking about new ways to make money. But I feel as if, right now you're feeling like you're really, really tied and there's no other way than what you got going on right now. But the Two of Swords says that, you can find and make a really good decision about your finances, getting them back in order and doing what you need to do so that maybe your life isn't so, unbalanced because, the Two of Pentacles wants to have some balance. So anyway, I think we're all looking for a little bit of balance between work and life and all of that, So I think the overall message for as a collective is like, let's make some decisions that will help bring a little bit of that, into our life and, just kind of have the checks and balances that we need. But let's see, I'm trying to figure out which deck do I want to use. I think we're going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot. So what I want to do is I am going to read for the week. We just kind of get a glimpse of what the overall theme is going to be like for all of the signs. We're going to go from Aries all the way through to Pisces. And then when I'm done, and I got a little bit of time, let's pull some cards for you guys, all right? As always, I'm always happy to do that. All right, so let's start first with each and every one of you saying thank you for being a part of my channel, tuning in. I'm just getting started here. So yeah, we're going to start with Aries, and we're going to take a look at the week. I'm not going to timestamp this, so if somebody could, that would be really great. And if you don't, that's okay too. I'm good with however it plays out. All right, and like I said, if you want to come back at the end, for reading, you don't want to stick around, for all the other signs, that's fine. Come back, and I'll pull some cards, right? Because that's what I really love to do. Hey, you guys, welcome in. Lauren, Soul X, Caleb, Odell, welcome. Nice to see you guys. Welcome in. Don't forget to hit that like button, all right? Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really makes a difference to my channel, and I'd love to see my channel continue to grow. All right, so let's get going so that I can finish up with that so I can pay attention to what's going on in the chat and connect with all you guys. Oh, thanks, Caleb. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, listen, if you got a question, throw it in. All right, so let's see what's going on for all of my Aries for this upcoming week. Grateful, thankful for the messages for all the signs from Aries through till Pisces. Let's see. All right, listen, Aries, we're starting out with the Ace of Wands coming in reverse. All right, so something's been delayed, all right? I think you've been really waiting for something to happen. When we have the Three of Wands, this is usually an energy of, like watching your ships come in, and it is reversed, and I think, with the Ace of Wands, I think you were really hoping something was going to manifest, and then it didn't, all right? And here you are, all worried. And then we have the Hermit card coming in upside down. So there's this like uncertainty of like, what should I do now? I was really counting on this happening, because that was really going to help me out with whatever, the Nine of Swords, very mental energy, all of these things that you worry about. And it doesn't happen. So expect a delay. All right. So just take a breath. All right. It's a delay. It's not like it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen right now. And the Nine of Swords, I'm very encouraged by this sun right here. It's like, listen, get a good night's sleep. Everything's going to be okay. But then, you know, the final outcome here is the Hermit card coming in reverse. There is a need for you to kind of take some time this week and sit with yourself, Aries, all right? And just kind of, you know, process, you know, how you're really feeling, because, you know, the Ace of Wands is a very passionate thing that you're after. All right, and the fact that it's not happening kind of bothers you. Maybe you need to just sit with that, you know, and just kind of check in with yourself this week and how you're really feeling, and see if you can clear some of this mental energy that you've got going on. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Aries, for this upcoming week. All right. Welcome in, everyone. I'm playing Pokemon cards. No, I'm not playing Pokemon cards. These are tarot cards. All right, grateful, thankful to the messages for my Taurus. Who's coming in for all my Taurus for this next week? What can they expect? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Taurus. All right, this card wanted to stay out. We have the Magician coming in for you, Taurus, and he is reversed to the Knight of Swords. Ooh. Oh. Oh, all right, let me show you the cards. All right, look, we got the Knight of Swords and we have the Magician coming in reverse. So very aggressive energy. Somebody may be, you know, like that towards you, and I see you walking away. All right, we have the Eight of Cups. Could be a relationship issue. So I think for a lot of Taurus, relationships are going to be the forefront. If you're not involved with someone, then it could be a relationship that you have some kind of, you know, something important in your life that you are dealing with. But the Magician coming in reverse, Taurus, so, you know, this is manipulation. This is trying to force things to happen. And the fact that it came out with this Knight of Swords, I feel as if, you know, there is somebody who is really trying to either call you out, point it out, I mean, deflect back onto you. I mean, this isn't a nice energy, and I see why, you know, someone walks away. It's like, I'm not going to put up with that. I'm not going to be called names. I'm not going to be treated like this. And I feel it has to do with a relationship. All right, Taurus. So, yeah, don't be surprised if some space is taken between you and somebody this week. What's at the bottom of the deck for you? We have the Ace of Swords. You know, see, I feel like that person who is very aggressive towards you, you know, they're filled with a lot of lies. You know, it's just, you don't need to hear it. You can move on. All right. You don't need to be a part of that. All right. That's their problem, not your problem. All right. But I do see relationship issues for my Taurus gang for this upcoming week. All right. Let's see what else is going on for my Gemini. You're next. Grateful, thankful for the messages for all of my Gemini. Hi, Lauren. You subscribed. Thank you. Thank you, Solex. All my new subscribers. Welcome in. My job, I am an artist. That's really my job. I'm an artist and I read tarot. That's what I do. I help people. I'm one of those kind of gals. All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Gemini. Some of my Geminis might be going on a little trip, a road trip. Might be thinking about it. You know, a road trip could be going somewhere where, you know, it's not that far away from home, but, you know, it's like it's a nice place to go and it would be fun. I mean, that kind of a trip. That's what I'm thinking for some of my Geminis. They don't necessarily have to go too far. All right, so listen, Gemini, you know, we're starting out here with the Ten of Wands to the Knight of Wands. And then the Death card coming in reverse to the Lovers. You know, I feel like, you know, when it comes to you and your person, take some space. All right. You know, because sometimes, you know, things get really, really heavy and then we don't see things clearly. And then, you know, rather than, you know, it being a positive experience with you and your person, you know, it's too much, right? And I'm just feeling some of you Geminis do need to take some space from your person. Because we do have the Death card sitting right in between this, you know, and it's just like, you know, if you don't want things to go bad, you know, take some space. I mean, I wonder whether even, you know, some of you Gemini, I mean, because I'm feeling the weight of the heaviness of your life right now, all right? And I just feel like some of you need to just go and, you know, enjoy yourself. Maybe, you know, go out with the girls, go out with the guys, you know, do something that you used to do when you were in a couple, you know, that kind of thing to remember who you are. I think it would be very, very good for you to just have some time, you know, away and enjoy yourself while you have some time away. You know, because if not, I feel as if, you know, things could be said that, you know, could go the wrong way, all right? So do yourselves a favor, all right? That seems to be the big theme for you. Then we have the Emperor coming in at the bottom of the deck for you. So, you know, I feel like, you know, life is pretty serious right now. You know, with this Emperor energy, you know, I mean, I feel like, you know, you're carrying a lot of weight, a lot of responsibility. But at the same time, don't forget that, you know, you've got to live your life as well, all right? And you need to enjoy your life while you're living it. So, yeah, follow your intuition this week and, you know, take that space that you need. Shahida, welcome in. Nice to see you. I'm on Cancer now. I'm doing a weekly read for everyone, Shahida. So coming in late. But I will stick around and I will read cards at the end, all right? So there's that, all right? All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Cancer. Grateful, thankful for all of my Cancers. What's going on for my Cancers for the next 7 days? All right, this week we're starting out with the Queen of Pentacles to the Eight of Cups reversed to the Moon card. Oh, Page of Cups. You know, listen, if you have kids, you know, kids could be an issue. One of your children could be up to something that could be no good. I'm just feeling like they could be doing something behind your back that you should know about, all right? Just saying, all right? Now, Cancer, we're starting out here with the Queen of Pentacles energy. So I think, you know, the home is really good this week. I think, you know, you would much rather be home than somewhere else, especially with that Queen of Pentacles energy. Now, the Moon card and the Eight of Cups, there's something that I think you are struggling with walking away from. You know, this could be a bad habit. This could be a change in habit. You know, this could be you needing to make some changes this week. You know, but I feel like, you know, you struggle walking away from something or someone. A situation is what I'm feeling more than anything. And then the Moon card, you know, it's coming in reverse. And I feel like you can't avoid the feelings, you know, or what you feel about it. So, you know, don't be surprised if some of you Cancers end up walking away from something that just doesn't feel right for you anymore, and you just can't pretend anymore that you can do it, or that you can be around this person, or that you can continue in whatever vein it is, all right? But that's basically what I've got for you. What do you have at the bottom of the deck? We have the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck for you, Cancer. Yeah, I mean, this is you. I think, you know, you are ready to let go of some of, you know, the responsibilities and enjoy yourself a little bit more, all right? Because you don't have to do everything, all right? And especially if, you know, you have a child who's like screaming for some attention, you know, that's all right. Put some things down, you know, and turn your attention to, you know, those things that might matter a little bit more than the responsibility of something today, all right? Don't be afraid to delegate things out or just say, no, not today, all right? Because I think it would be really, really good for you. All right, that's what I've got for you, Cancer. Hi, Jaspreet. Welcome in. I'm good. How are you? I'm on my way down to, you know, head south with a friend of mine. We're going to go visit my friend who's in the hospital, plus do a little bit of shopping. So, yeah, I'm looking for a good day, and I'm hanging out with you guys now, so, like, it's all good, right? Oh, I'm so glad you're good, guys. All right, let's see what's going on for my Leos. Let me get through all of the signs here, and then we can all chit-chat together in the chat room, right? And I can pull some cards for you guys, and we can see what's going on, and, you know, that kind of stuff. Good things. All right, let's see what's going on for my Leos. One more shuffle. All right, Leo. Focus, focus, focus. Grateful, thankful for the message from my Leo. All right, let's see what's going on. Leo, we're coming out with the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, that's tough energy. Oh, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh. Either this is two people or it's one person that, you know, has some problems with what's going on at home. But I think it's two people. All right, we have the Queen of Swords and we have the Queen of Pentacles coming in upside down. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. So this is an energy of give and take. And I feel like somebody isn't being on the up and up when it comes to a balanced give and take. And I think you're onto them. You know, so if somebody has, you know, maybe maybe you lent them money, all right? And they said, oh, I'll give it back to you on Friday when I get paid. Well, now here it is Monday, you know, and they didn't give it back to you on Friday, and then maybe, you know, on Saturday they might have, maybe Sunday they might have, you know, but they didn't. Here it is Monday, and you're like, wow, you know, I don't know whether or not they're really going to pay me back. Maybe I should say something. So, you know, go ahead and say it. Because I feel as if, you know, there could have been a misunderstanding or a need. Something was keeping them from being able to pay it back. Maybe they didn't know how to say anything. And I just feel as if you, coming out as the Queen of Swords, you know, see what's going on, there's going to be a good outcome. I see a good outcome. All right. So whoever this person is, I think it's more, you know, their instability that is making them do and act the way that they're doing. But I think, you know, it'll all work out well. So, you know, if you're dealing with someone, see, I feel like, see, somebody was acting out of selfishness. Maybe if I don't see him, I don't talk to him, I don't run into him, I don't have to pay him back. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of a thing. So this avoidance that this person has with you because of something they did that wronged you. Is what I'm feeling, you know, so I hope that made sense. Yeah, see, something was definitely not fair. So, and I think, you know, you, Leo, are very clear and, you know, you see exactly what went on and you saw their motives and you saw that they were acting out of selfishness. But in the end, somehow we find, you know, resolution. You know, I always, you know, people are how people are, right? And we have to accept them as they are. And if you are dealing with somebody who has a tendency to be like this, a little selfish, and know that, you know, you might lend them a little bit of money, but they're not going to necessarily turn around and, you know, pay you right back, or it might be hard to get the money back. You know, you got to believe that's how they are and accept them and know that the next time that this conversation comes up, you may treat it a little differently and maybe not give them so much money or give them money with no expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just take people as they are. And I think that is how you end up pulling out a good outcome. You know, it's just like, that's who they are. You see that, you know, lesson learned about them. Right, Leo? That's how I feel about that. Sneha, welcome in. You want to know when you're going to meet your soulmate? Well, you probably already have, you know, would be my guess. But we'll get to you when I finish the readings, all right, Snita? We'll get to everyone. All right, grateful, thankful for the messages from my Virgos. What's going on for Virgos for this upcoming week? What's happening for the Virgos? We have the Six of Cups, memories, and temperance. You know, you might need to be a little bit patient with people who are younger than you or just may not have the maturity that you have, Virgo. All right, so patience would be a good thing to practice, keep in mind, for this upcoming week. And, you know, it's funny because I wonder whether or not there's a situation you are dealing with. I have the Knight of Wands showing up here, all right? When the Knight of Wands shows up here, I feel as if there's an avoidance. There's this, you know, need or this, like, a lot of talk but no action, you know. It's someone saying a lot to you, but they're not coming through. And then we have the Moon card sitting right next to it. So if you have a feeling that somebody has promised to come through for you for something or I just, you know, trust your intuition on it, you know, because if you're like, you know, this guy's all talk, you know, then he really is all talk. Or it's like, you know, maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt this time and maybe give him a second chance, you know. And I feel like it's somebody that you have dealt with before. You have a lot of patience this week, all right, Virgo? So, you know, and having dealt with this person before, don't forget how they are, all right? Because the Moon card, you know, it's bringing up all these feelings, you know, about how you're going to handle this situation. Let's take a look at what's at the bottom of the deck for you. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you know, you know things never work out well when this person shows up. So I feel like, you know, this is somebody from your past who, you know, you might have a soft heart for, but, you know, it's just somebody who, you know, with this Eight of Pentacles, you just don't want to deal with them anymore. I think it's kind of over. But, you know, if they are around or even if you have to work with them, you know, because maybe they're from another office or whatever, you know, I think you will be okay. All right, you'll be able to deal with it. But you definitely don't want anything more to do with this situation or with them. And, for some of you, you may be considering actually maybe branching off on your own when it comes to a job. I think things are going to evolve this week, So in the work front, keep your ears open. It wouldn't surprise me if, there are some new work developments for you, Virgo, as well. All right. That's what I got for you, Virgo. Moving on to my Libras. Grateful, thankful for the messages for all of my Libra. What's going on for Libra for the next 7 to 10 days? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Libra. All right, Libra, one more shuffle. I'm feeling like you got to have one more shuffle. I hope you guys, are you still around? I'm on Libra, so I've got a few more to go. We have Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And then we'll make it open reads, all right? All right, Libra. Last shuffle. Let's see what's going on for you this week. All right, Libra, ready? We have the Tower. Something unexpected. When the Tower shows up, it's time. All right, even though it's unexpected, it brings a change, and it brings a very important change. And usually, if we are tuned into ourselves, and awareness, sometimes there is those things from out of nowhere that we don't see coming, and this is one of them. All right, this Tower, I feel like, could come out of nowhere, but I feel like it's a good thing because she's smiling. All right, so whatever it is, it brings an ending. Definitely an ending that you've been dealing with for a while. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Wands is reversed. So it is asking you to let go of whatever it is that you have been carrying for quite a while. And then we have the 10 of Swords. Again, this is, a heaviness or maybe a situation that you've been dealing with someone. But then, boom, all of a sudden, it's done. It's like it's over. Look at that. So a new beginning for you, Virgo or Libra. New beginning for you. I think, you were dealing with someone. All right, that's what I'm feeling. Because at the bottom of the deck, I have a Queen of Wands energy here. And the Queen of Wands energy, she's ruthless, she's vicious, she's very vengeful. She can be very jealous. And, if this is a work situation, Libra, I wonder whether or not, she gets, axed. Poof, she's out of here. Do you know what I mean? And now all of a sudden work is much better for you, and maybe you get an advancement. I mean, something good happens as a result of what happens to this Queen of Wands. So, apply that how you will. All right, Libra? But it's a good turn of events for you. The change that Tower brings is to your benefit. All right, let's see. What else? Who's next? Scorpio. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my Scorpios. Just a few people in the chat. Not many, but it's okay. Maybe they'll show up for the card pulls. Boy, there was one day last week, man, the card pulls went wild. I just had to kind of pick a question because there were so many. It was crazy. I'd love to see that happen again. Oops, wait, we have a card that is right side up. We have the Fool card coming in. Scorpio, I wonder whether or not a new beginning is on your horizon. Let's see what that's about. I like that because, you may be doing something, just doing something out of nowhere, impulsively, just because you feel like that would make you feel good. Do that, It's like one of those things. It's like if you always wanted to go to the boardwalk by yourself and just kind of check it out, but you've been hesitant to do that for whatever reason. Today all of a sudden you get this feeling that maybe we can go down to the boardwalk. And then you go down to the boardwalk. And there's these people that they're singing or whatever. It turns out you can sing. And oh my gosh, you can sing down on the boardwalk. Now you're singing down and having this amazing time. Be spontaneous like that, all right, Scorpio? Because I think you would have such an amazing experience if you would open yourself to something like that. Yeah, see, Judgment card. Go out and do something that's just you. But listen, overall, Scorpio, I feel as if, you could be dealing with some tough energies this week. Maybe this is why you need to go down to the boardwalk, right? The Emperor coming in reverse. This is, tough. All right, because this is somebody who has a lot of power, a lot of control, and in my opinion, a lot of times misuses it. All right, this could be an older person. This could be a father figure. This could be a work person. This could be your partner, you know, but this is somebody who, you know, just, they're always right, you're always wrong type of person. And it brings a sense of instability with this Queen of Pentacles. So, some of you Scorpios, and you know, I saw this in your reading that I did earlier this morning. You know, there's this need for you to kind of pull away. And I think you're at that point where you're ready to make some moves, all right? And start doing things that resonate more for you than for anyone else, you know, especially if, you know, you're in a difficult situation with someone that is miserable. You know, who wants to be miserable? Nobody, you know? So I see a lot of you, you know, taking this, you know, because these are troubled waters, the Six of Swords. And I think by fall, which is not that far away, I mean, we just entered summer, you know, I mean, next season, you know, by fall, I feel as if, you know, you are going to be making a lot of shifts and changes. This week, however, I feel as if, you know, you're going to pick your battles. All right, so, because here, I see you picking your battles and then, you know, defending the ones that you need to. So, yeah, not going to lie, tough energies from my Scorpios this week around somebody. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Welcome in. Anybody's new? Nice to see you guys. I just got a few more signs to do, and then I'm going to turn my attention to all of you guys. And see what's coming through for you guys. All right, let's see what is going on for all of my Saggies. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Sagittarius for this upcoming week. Yeah, so if you have any questions, now's a good time to throw them in there. Because I like to go back to like the beginning. Especially if, you know, it's not a very full chat room like it is today. And then I can answer everybody's questions. So everybody gets a chance. All right, let's see, Sag, what's coming through for you, Sagittarius, for the next 7 days. We have love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, listen, some of you are going to find love this week. But for others, the story is a little different, you know. So, you know, listen, some of you Sagittarians, you may be going out with someone, or you may like someone, or you may have high hopes that quite possibly a relationship that you are involved with because you love them so much will work and continue and things will change, says the Death card reversed. But I don't think that those people that really love you believe that. You know, I think, you know, somebody that you are involved with, and now this is, I feel, is more specific for someone out there, you know, and it could be somebody who is right now listening, right, you know, in my chat, who's in this live. But I feel, you know, like you are with somebody who, you know, you might be a little codependent, but they make you feel very insecure. And I think you even question, they may even, you know, make you feel a certain way, like you're not secure in your body, you know, that you're not good at this, that you'd never make a good mom, you know, maybe they don't want to have kids and you do, you know. I just feel like, you know, these people know you. All right, these people. And I think they see how you change when you are with this person. And you believe that they are going to change because, you know, something about them is clearly unacceptable to those that really care about you. You know, but, you know, love is love and we have to let love play itself out. But I feel like Sagittarius, this week, you know, it's going to really, you know, hit you. And then we have at the bottom of the deck, the Tower. So out of nowhere, you know, there could be a real shift and a real ending to this bubble that you have around, you know, this relationship. All right. So that's what I've got for someone. Hi, Jenny. Jenny's Cozy Corners in the house. Welcome in. Nice to see you, Jenny. All right, moving on to my Capricorns. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Maybe it's your North Node. I don't know. Maybe you just know Capricorn. Grateful, thankful for the messages for all of my Capricorns. Grateful, thankful for my Cappies. All right, let's find out what the week looks like for my Capricorns. How are you, Jenny's Cozy Corner? I hope you're well. All right, let's see what's going on. Capricorn, first card out for you is the Six of Wands. I think you are being seen. I like it. You know, when we come out the winner, all right, this is how we start. I feel like, you know, there's also a part of you, Capricorn, you know, you're very, you know, can be traditional and like, you don't forget where you come from either, right? But I feel as if people see you. People really see you. And, you know, you might be going through something right now that's very difficult. You know, because here I see the Wheel of Fortune and we have the Hermit reversed and we have the Three of Wands coming in reversed. You know, so I feel like whatever it is that you are going through, you know, because it just seems like something's not coming through for you. You know, you just have to remember that a lot of people really believe in you and support you and love you. They really do. Eight of Swords. There's something that's really got you worried. So this week, all right, because I feel as if, you know, a lot of your worries might be unfounded. All right, because when we have the Eight of Swords, this is us getting into our heads and now it's affecting our lives and, you know, everything is going wrong. I mean, this is you needing to kind of shift out of an attitude of negativity and, you know, find a little bit of gratitude. It would really help pull you out, you know. And a lot of times I like to play a little game with myself when I get into a space where my thoughts are running away from me. I look for 5 things. What are the 5 things I see? You know, and it could be a bush, a tree, my dog, you know, my hand, whatever. And then it's like, then I want to hear 4 things that I hear, and then I got to listen for 4 things. And it really pulls me out of my head because now I'm actively doing something with my brain to get me out of this mental state. And here with the Hermit card too, Capricorn, you're being encouraged to really take some time and sit with yourself. All right, you know, if you you know, have a lot on your mind and a lot of worry and stress over something that, you know, you're wondering it's not going to happen, you know, sit with it. Just sit with it, all right? And you'll be much better, okay? Because the Hermit wants you to tap into your inner soul, your inner wisdom. You know, you've got experience, you've been there, done that, you know, you're not a child, you're an older person here, you know, so you know, you even in high school, you've gained some kind of wisdom and knowledge. I think you're an older person than that though, but anyway, the point is, Capricorn, you know, don't forget that, you know, there's people around who can really help you and support you while you're in a time of crisis. Oh, look, see, there's an ending coming. And I think, you know, there's a lot of heartbreak that is coming around you, you know. So just know you're not alone, all right? And it's okay for you to take the time that you need to be alone. All right. Welcome in, you guys. Hi, Heather. Laverne. Nice to see you, Laverne. I feel like the gang's all here. All right, listen, I just got Aquarius and Pisces to do, and then I'm going to jump into the chat room with you guys and pull cards, all right? So hang out or come back, you know, however, whatever works. See you in a bit. All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Aquarians. Aquarius, what's going on, Aquarius? What's going on for you this week, Aquarius? What's happening, Aquarius? Grateful, thankful for the messages from my Aquarians. What's going on for my Aquas for the next 7 days? I almost said 7 to 10, but we're just doing a week here. All right, listen, we're starting out with you, Aquarius, with the Nine of Wands, backed up into a tree or a corner. Tried everything to make something work, right? Eight of Pentacles, trying to make it work. Oh, thanks, Laverne. Yeah, I'll get to you. I'll pull you out first, all right? All right, then we got King of Pentacles coming in reversed. So, Aquarius, I feel as if, you know, there's some pressure at work. All right, and it could be from this king. The king here, he's a shady guy. He doesn't care what it takes. I don't care if you've already been here 12 hours. I need you here another 7 hours. You know, it's that kind of a person. I feel like, you know, you've done everything, you know, to, you know, do the best job you can. And I feel like this week, it's really going to be challenging. Two of Swords. Boy, it's going to really make you, you know, just want to up and quit. Don't do that though. All right. Don't do that. All right. It's going to make you want to do that, Aquarius, but you got a blindfold on, and is that really what you want to do? All right. Just because, you know, this guy is really giving you a really hard week. All right. So Judgment, you know, hang in there. All right. Just hang in there is the advice of the cards for my Aquarius. Let's see what's at the bottom. Yeah. See, you're dealing with somebody who is so, they're almost impossible. You know, I get it. I get it. But to just up and quit right now would not be the smart thing to do. You know, if you want to leave, you know, you've got to leave in a better way. Just saying, Aquarius. Watch your temper, all right? Because, look, I do see you bringing this all to an end, all right? Because enough is enough, you know, but don't do it impulsively. Do it in a way that you feel good when you do walk away, all right? Okay, that's what I got from my Aquarians. Welcome in. Look at me, I got a super chat. Thank you, ma'am. Much appreciated. I'll give you a card, maybe even two, Laverne. All right, let me finish up with Pisces. And then my attention goes to you guys, where I like to be. I like hanging out with you guys. Hi, Prina, welcome in. Hakimashu, welcome. All right, let's see what's going on for my Pisces for next week. Grateful, thankful for the messages for my fishies. What's going on for Pisces? What's happening in the world of the Pisces fish? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Pisces. All right, Pisces, you ready? Listen, you, like Capricorn, are coming out with victory, the winner. I think you've been very, very patient, all right, in trying to either, you know, land something or, you know, get seen or heard, and I think it paid off. Because you start out the week really, really happy, and I like that. And then we have the Judgment card coming in reverse. Yeah, you know, I think, you know what to do. And in that alone, there's victory, all right? You've been really, really patient in the situation, and I think you just needed to see how it was going to play out and unfold. And here with the Judgment card coming in reversed, alongside of the Hanged Man reversed, I mean, I think there was a lot of confusion. I don't think you saw everything, but at the end of the day, I think you being patient and not jumping the gun, and, you know, just knowing that, you know, if you play your cards right, everything you need to know will be presented. And I think that's exactly what happened. Just how you needed it played out, Pisces, is how it played out. At the bottom of the deck, we have you as the Hermit right here. So I like the energy of the Hermit coming out for you, because I think you really thought about a situation that, you know, listen, when we reach the point of the Judgment card, we're looking at an ending here. You know, it's like either I'm going to give this another chance or we're going to call it quits here. And I think with the Hangman reverse, you needed to have that clarity and that perspective. And I think you took it, you know, for one, sitting in meditation, as well as, like I said, being patient enough to let things just kind of unfold, and you will know exactly that you did right, you know, and you come out ahead. You come out the winner in a situation. Anyway, that's the week for all of the zodiac signs. Now I'm going to look at all you guys. Welcome all you guys in. Hi, Raby. Welcome in. All right, let's see. I have to pull a card for Laverne first, all right, because she gave me a super chat, so I got to take care of those that tip the tarot reader. All right, listen, I'm going to pull for you, Laverne, from the High Priestess. She wants one card on Joshayla. I don't know how to say the name. She just needs a card on this person here, Creator God. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Laverne. Looking for a good reading for my friend Laverne here. Tipped me some good money. So much appreciated. Grateful, thankful for her generosity. All right, let's see, Laverne. Here's your card. You ready? All right. One card. We have the Seven of Cups coming in reverse. So I'm sensing a lot of confusion of not really knowing what to do, what decisions to make. I mean, this is really a lot of confusion. So I need to pull another card to get a little bit more clarity. Three of Cups. All right, so he's not happy. Whoever this person is not happy. Maybe there was a situation that happened. Maybe he feels like somebody turned their backs on them. I mean, I just feel this sense of now not knowing what to do, Laverne. Just not knowing what to do. Nine of Wands coming in as the final outcome, Laverne, which kind of indicates that it might be time to just cut your losses and move on. You know, there's only so many times you can try to mend fences before you just can't mend this fence anymore. So that's what I've got for you, Laverne. You want a general too? Yeah, since we're in your energy, Laverne, I'll do a general for you. But let me just shuffle the cards and get out of that for the moment. Welcome in, everyone. I'm reading cards for you guys right now. Currently, I am reading from my friend, Laverne. Grateful, thankful for her energy, her generosity, her kindness. Her spirit, what messages can you tell me about Laverne? What does she need to know? Tell me what I need to tell Laverne. All right, Laverne, listen. We got the Hangman coming in with the Ace of Swords. Ooh, and Two of Cups. All right, I don't know who you... This is about a relationship, Laverne. All right, we got the Two of Cups here. Two people coming together. This is divine counterparts. But we have the Hanged Man and I have the Ace of Swords. I am wondering whether or not your person is trying to confuse you because there's some kind of lie or deception that they don't want you to know. You know, so because the Ace of Swords, I was like, what are they not telling you? And then I got the Hanged Man here and I was like, we got some confusion here. So usually, you know, when somebody is telling you things that you're like, that doesn't make any sense. You know, something's up. And I feel like something's up with your person. So you might want to dig a little deeper there, Laverne, and find out what's really going on, you know, and are they telling the truth? And if this is a situation that you already know about, I see a good outcome. We got the Star card at the bottom of the deck. So a lot of hope there, Laverne, for things to work out. Okay. All right. So that's what I got for you, Laverne. Let's see. Let's kick it back a little bit and see who's there. I know there was someone. Oh, Sneha. Right? Sneha wanted to know whether or not they're going to meet their soulmate. Let's check in. We're all interested. And then I'll get down further because there's not very many. Oh, you love my earrings today? My Huichol made earrings. My friends made those down in Mexico. All right, Sneha, let's find out. Your soulmate. We're looking for your soulmate. All right, look, I do see you're going to meet your soulmate. I feel like you're going to do it when you're doing something you absolutely love doing. You know, this here is the Queen of Wands. You know, this is you being you in all of your glory. I think they're going to find you. You won't have to find them. Because I think they see you as a very charismatic, very charming, just on fire type of person. So, yeah, that's when you're going to meet your person, you know. So you'll know. And it's going to happen out of nowhere, all right? So your soulmate. As to when, out of nowhere. I can't tell you when. Just one day you will meet them, all right? That's what I got for you, Snita. You know, when it comes to time in the tarot, it's just so hard. A lot of times, you know, I can pick up maybe a season, sometimes, you know, a number. But when it comes to, like, your person, and it comes in with the Tower... out of nowhere. All right, let's see. Who's next? Who's next? Hawk, you have a question. At what time would you be meeting the person I'm missing? You said I will meet. Oh, see, and I just mentioned the whole time thing. But let's see. Maybe you get a Tower. Let's see. Can you give me any kind of hint for Hawk on when this person that he's missing is going to meet? Tell me about a timetable for Hawk. Just give me some idea. Some idea. What are you giving me? Nothing. I got nothing. The King of Wands coming in reversed. Oh, you know, it's funny. It's when I get with this King of Wands, you know, this King of Wands talks a lot, but, you know, usually the actions don't match their talk. And I almost feel like you have to watch out for that hawk, that your actions need to match your words, all right? Just a little message for you, my friend. Perna, what's your life like? Your life is messing up, like one problem comes. Well, listen, welcome to life. Do you know that the secret of life is learning how to be at peace while all of that is going on around you? Oh my gosh, Perna. All right, listen, Perna, I'm going to pick some cards for you right now, all right? Grateful, thankful for you. All right, let's just pull some cards and just see what's your energy. What's your energy like, Perna? Thanks, Laverne. Thanks for another super chat. I sure appreciate that because this girl needs a car real bad. Real bad. I have lights coming on now on my dashboard that I've never seen before. It's like the car has over 280,000 miles on it. It's time for a new car. So thank you, Laverne, for contributing to that fund. All right, Perna. Here are your cards. Let's find out what's going on. All right, Perna, we got the strength card coming in. All right. We've got to trust and believe in yourself a little bit more. Because I do see things coming to an end, you know, and the strength card is coming in reversed. You know, when the strength card comes in reversed, I just feel as if you're not doing what you need to do in order for things to change, right? Because maybe what you have to do, maybe you have to make a decision, maybe you have to make a change that's going to be really difficult. Life's never going to be the same again kind of change. But whatever it is, what you need to do that, you know, whatever it is that needs to end in your life, you need to end it, Perna, because, you know, whatever, you can stop this, all right? You can stop your runaway train. But it's going to take you really having the strength and the courage to make these changes. All right, Perna? That's what I see for you. Laverne, you're talking to Rosalina now, and you see a future with... Oh, whether you see a future with. I get it. All right, listen, I got to jump down and take care of my super chat over here. Laverne, grateful, thankful to her. Coming in strong with her energy. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my friend Laverne. Grateful, thankful for her kindness, her generosity. Talking to Rosalina. Is there a future with Rosalina? Laverne, inquiring minds. Now we all need to know, Laverne. You know, we all need to know whether or not there's a future. I see it definitely. There's definitely a great beginning here, and yes, there could be the potential for a really, you know, I get a very lighthearted kind of energy from her, and I think it would be really, really great to live life that way. So yes, I definitely see something really great between you and her. All right. And just know, I think, you know, when, you know, the wheels are always turning, right? So there's good, there's bad, you just got to flow with it. And I just feel like this right now with Rosalina, the Fool, could be a good beginning. We'll start there, huh, Laverne? But there's definitely something really good there. All right, let's see. Who's next? Rabbi, you're a Capricorn. So am I. I'm a Capricorn. Priyanka, you're a new subscriber. Thank you for being a new subscriber. You want to know Atul's feeling for you? Let's find out. Because you're a new subscriber. I like to honor you guys. I like the new people. I was new once. All right, listen. No, be careful of this guy. He's manipulative. Are you out there, Priyanka? I want you to really see this. You know, this is somebody who I don't trust. When the Magician comes in reverse, you know, they have ulterior motives. You know, they try to get you to do things, you know, not for your benefit, but more for them. Be very careful of them. All right, Priyanka? Priyanka, be careful. I'm just going to wave the red flag, okay? And then all I can do is wave the flag, and then you got to run with it. All right, but be careful. All right, Priyanka. All right, who else is out there? Hawk, did I not answer your question? Oh, the time. Oh, the time. Funny. You know, you didn't get a message on time. You got a message on, you know, that you need to, your actions need to match your words. And once you start doing that, then I think you're going to meet someone, Hawk. Okay, that's what I got for you. Hi, Marion. Welcome in. Rabbi, you're a hypnotherapist. That's cool. Just wondering if starting past life regression sessions will bring more income. I got to tell you, I have a lot of good luck personally from my past life regressions. The ones that I've had on my own and some that people have done. I'm a fan. That's all I'm going to say. I am definitely a fan. But Rabbi, let's find out whether or not that's a go with you. Wondering whether starting past life regressions will bring more income for Rabbi. We would like to know. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Rabbi. Yes, you know, I think that's a great idea. Look, Ace of Swords. That's an amazing idea. Do it. And I think, you know, it will lead to even more. You know, so that Ace of Swords is, you know, really encouraging. So, yeah, like I said, I'm a real fan because I know how much it's helped me. So, I'm excited. I would go to you. I would go to you. I love those kind of things. All right, let's see. Who's next? All right, let's see. Raina. Is that how I say it? Raina? Your sister, Mesa, next actions towards you. Let's find out, Raina. Let's clear the energies of the cards and find out what your sister's next actions towards you are going to be. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Raina. How is everyone today? It's nice to be here. I only have just a little bit of time, and then, like I said, I've got to get rolling out of here. Heading south for a big day down south. Ooh, yeah, good luck with that, man. Ace of Swords. That's a perfect card to pull in an answer for you. All right, Raina, let's find out your sister's actions towards you. Let's see. Listen, I feel as if there's some good actions, all right? When we have the King of Cups, we're looking at a kinder, gentler, more empathetic kind of connection. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe she sends somebody like that to talk to you, to deal with you, to handle whatever it is that, you know, are going to be her next actions. You know, so it could be someone else that steps in for her. Let's pull another card. High Priestess coming in reverse. You know, I think you'll know. I think you have an idea of who it might be if that's how it is. All right, but yeah, you know, I feel as if, you know how things are going and you know who it is. But, you know, bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups coming in reverse. I mean, whatever the situation is, it really needs to be healed because, you know, when there's, you know, nobody's getting along. I don't like that. Moving forward, welcome in. Moving forward, can you get a general on your stressful situation? Absolutely. I'm going to read from my friend moving forward. They've been here before. Ooh, the Hierophant came out. But it came out sideways. Interesting. I'll have to get a few more cards. Look, and these cards came out. Whoa, here's your stress. Wow, I see your stress. Look, we got the Six of Swords coming in reverse. We got the Eight of Swords. That's mental energy. That's a lot of stuff in your head over here moving forward. But when we have these energies coming up reverse, it says we need to address them. You know, I think we need to take care of them. So let's see what the cards are going to say for you moving forward. All right, listen, Five of Pentacles. All right, so here, Five of Pentacles says, quit focusing on your weaknesses and let's focus on your strengths. All right, and kind of pick ourselves up and find a solution because the key is right there. All right, so, but a lot of it is the attitude. All right, because when we have a Five of Pentacles kind of energy, it's like, oh, poor me, oh, woe is me, I don't know what to do. And we saw the stress that already came out. So this is really about you. Let's focus on what I got, what I can work with, and then move from there, and then take it step by step. All right, moving forward, that's what I've got for you. Brian. Not cards for validation. Boy, Brian, you got a lot to say. So I gave you your time, so now I got to get you off, all right? Because you don't belong here. You know, it's just not right. All right. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Naz, welcome in. How are you? All right, we need to find thoughts out on you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Nice to see you, Naz. Moving forward, I hope that helped. That was the Five of Pentacles reversed for you. Oh, I'm so glad you're doing good, Naz. Nice to see you. All right, let's see. Let's get a card out on those thoughts. I'm good. I'm doing real good. What can you tell me about these thoughts? Akasha? I don't know how to say it. What are their thoughts for you? Two of Wands. Listen, you know, they're on the fence here because Two of Wands is like trying to see whether or not, you know, they want to stay or they want to make a decision and go in another direction. So indecisiveness is what I'm getting, Naz. Let's get another card, see. Queen of Pentacles. You know, I like that, you know, the Queen of Pentacles follows through with this because it's more serious. You know, it's kind of looking more for stability. So, you know, I think that's what, you know, this person is looking for. And when the Queen of Pentacles comes up, you know, this is the possibility you might be that person. You know, so we got to hang in there and see what the next energies are to follow. All right. Naz, but I like it. You know, I think a little indecisiveness is good because it's important that people are thinking things through, especially in making big decisions when it comes to someone that you might want to be with for a while. Anyway. All right, listen, anybody else out there? Anybody out there? Been on here almost an hour. Anyway, I have a good time whenever I come on here. I'm always happy to see you guys in the chat room. Even people like Brian. You know, he had to say what he had to say. So there you go, you know. Off he went. Anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you. Really thankful, grateful for Laverne and her super chats. That always makes me feel good. That's a nice balance exchange between what I do and how you can give back to me. I'm always thankful for a super chat. But if you don't have it, you don't have it. Listen, I've been there too. I'm there right now. Anyway. Anyway, thanks you guys. I'm going to be on my way. I'm going to hopefully check back. Oh, wait a minute. TM's here. Can I tell you who will find true love first, mom or dad? Who's going to find true love first in TM's world, mom or dad? We'll start with mom. Is mom going to find true love first? Yes or no? Is mom going to find true love first? Yes or no? All right, TM, you ready? No, I don't feel like it's going to be your mom. You know, I don't feel like your mom is going to really want to look, honestly. You know, and listen, us women, we're resilient. We're okay on our own. But let's see about your dad. I'm just curious to see whether or not he's going to find love. Ivana, welcome in. Let's find out, TM. What about your dad? Let's find out about your dad. All right, you ready? Here comes your dad. Neither your dad either. I think, you know, they're just going to kind of do their own thing for a while, which I think is very healthy. You know, it's just like whenever there's any kind of splits, it's really important that each individual take the time to remember who they are before they get with someone else. I just think that is so, so important. Anyway, listen, people, I am going to end it here. It's been a great time. I'm going to try to come back possibly, you know, midweek, I want to do a reading for my Cancers bonus because it's their birthday. So any Cancers out there, happy, happy birthday. It's 11/11, so it's a good time to end and walk through my next portal of my day. So until the next reading, be well, be happy, be kind, and I'll see you later. Hit that like button. All right, bye now.